Did you know that your thyroid and your breast tissue compete for iodine? They both need very high doses of iodine in order to function properly. And did you know that women that are on thyroid medication are twice as likely to develop breast cancer than women who are not? So there's definitely a thyroid breast cancer connection. Now, as a society as a whole, we are very iodine deficient because we're exposed to so many halides. Now, halides are things like bromide, fluoride, chloride, and these halides compete with iodine in our body, so they actually kick the iodine out of the body, which makes you even more iodine deficient. So making sure that you measure your iodine levels through a simple 24-hour urine test and measuring your insufficiency of iodine and supplementing accordingly can be very, very beneficial when it comes to preventing and healing breast cancer. Another important supplement would be vitamin D. Vitamin D is right up there with iodine. Simply taking vitamin D and making sure it's in the optimal levels can reduce your breast cancer risk by 83%. And studies have shown us that literally breast cancer cells will collapse and implode when they're exposed to vitamin D. Cruciferous vegetables are also very key to help prevent and heal breast cancer. And why is that? Cruciferous vegetables have a nutrient or compound in them called indole-3-carbinol. And DIM and I3C put together help to metabolize the estrogens and break them down into healthy metabolites where they're non-aggressive. They also help to support the phase 1, phase 2 detoxification of the liver. So making sure that you're eating plenty of cruciferous.
He was a chiropractor and a nutritionist, way ahead of his time. Oxidants and the nutrients in it. But really my drink of choice is the matcha tea, green tea. If you're going to drink green tea, matcha has 100 survival rates. Now the traditional doctor will tell you don't do anything different, eat what you want, don't take supplements when you're doing chemotherapy. However, studies have shown us, again, this is evidence-based, I'm not just pulling things out of my hat, but studies have shown us that specific nutrients can have a very positive effect while you're going through chemotherapy, in order to help you manage the side effects of it, as well as reduce your tumor load. So according to researchers, ginger, for example, I mentioned, is 10,000 times more effective at killing cancer stem cells than conventional chemotherapy such as Taxol. Here's another very interesting report, and last week I talked about the importance of vitamin D. Please, please, please make sure you have your vitamin D levels. Just this week, one of our clients had a vitamin D level of 17 when ideally it should be 75 to 90, 80 to 90. That's the nice healthy therapeutic range. But according to this study in the Clinical Breast Cancer Journal in 2015, they found that improved clinical outcomes were associated with vitamin D supplementation. Now, why isn't your oncologist telling you that? Every oncologist in this country should be saying, should be testing you for your vitamin D levels and should be making sure that you're taking vitamin D to help you improve your outcome. Now, another thing that your oncologist will never tell you is that women who have higher levels of vitamin D can survive chemotherapy with fewer side effects than those who have lower levels of vitamin D. And this is a huge one. There's an 83% reduction in breast cancer when your blood levels of vitamin D go from 25 to 50. So the higher your vitamin D levels, the higher the reduction of your breast cancer. 83% reduction. That's huge. Why is that not on the national news? Now remember, when you take vitamin D, don't take vitamin D alone, but also always include vitamin K1 and K2 with it. So that's the first one. The second one, drum roll, is iodine. Now, iodine is a basic. Who are on thyroid medication are twice as likely to develop breast cancer than those who are not. Why is that? Because most women with a suboptimal functioning thyroid are iodine deficient.
And instead of simply covering up the symptoms with medication, all they need to do is supplement with iodine. Now, why is iodine so important? Well, what happens when you're iodine deficient? So make sure that you've included magnesium in your top 5 supplements for breast health. And the last product is broccoli sprouts. So why did I pick broccoli sprouts? Well, broccoli sprouts have they have over 500 times more sulforaphane, which is the specific chemical in the sprout, than a mature vegetable, than a mature broccoli. So cells grow. So by all means, if you have cancer, please, please, please avoid sugar, any type of refined carbohydrate. Medicine, evidence-based natural medicine has a lot of proof to show us that it can affect those cancer stem cells. So sulforaphane from broccoli sprouts, there again, one of my favorite foods. It really can kill the breast cancer stem cells. Curcumin, we talked about that last week as well. It turns off inflammation and turns on your protective genes. Something as simple as ginger. Ginger has been proven to target and kill cancer stem cells. So a very important food to have in your diet and to supplement with. Fermented soy in the form of a product called Halen, H-A-E-L-A-N. It's been a product that's been used from the 1980s. It was developed in China, and yes, it is non-GMO and very organic and very powerful when it comes to healing breast cancer, because it helps to turn on and inhibit the breast cancer stem cell production.
Essential oils are nature's most powerful form of plant-based medicine. And some of the best essential oils for fighting breast cancer, and it can include, number 1, myrrh essential oil. Now, myrrh actually contains several compounds, one called curzarine, which has actually been shown to fight cancer. So myrrh oil, actually, even in a clinical study, this was an in vitro study, was shown to have more anti-cancer benefits than the second most powerful essential oil, which is frankincense. But myrrh oil, very high on my list for fighting breast cancer. What you'd want to do is take several drops. You want to rub it directly on the breast area and on the neck and lymphatic area as well. Do that 3 times a day topically. Also use it in a diffuser. But myrrh essential oil, the number 1 oil you can use. Number 2, frankincense oil. We know frankincense contains a compound called alpha-pinene, which actually works with the body to naturally reduce stress on the body, and also has really powerful anti-inflammatory properties. So myrrh and frankincense, 2 of the top essential oils for fighting breast cancer. Number 3 essential oil for fighting breast cancer is actually going to be sandalwood essential oil. Sandalwood also contains powerful compounds that when topically used could fight breast cancer. And another one of my favorites is turmeric essential oil. Now, a lot of people turmeric is a fast-growing star in the essential oil category. Typically today it's used more in the powder form or the root form, which is fantastic as well. Getting some turmeric shots or turmeric juice shots are great. But turmeric contains a compound called curcumin as well as L-tumerone, both of which have anti-cancer benefits according to in vitro studies which have been done there as well. So again, the best essential oils for fighting cancer: frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, turmeric oil. I would also say ginger and lemon oil, D-limonene, which is found in lemon oil, zinger bean, which is found in ginger. And ginger oil and lemon oil are 2 oils that are good to do internally, 1 to 2 drops a couple times a day, taken with food. You can have great 11 to 13 glasses of vegetable juice a day, and you would also eat juiced beef liver. So again, there was only 1 meat product total you ate. It was actually beef liver, because it's the highest, it's the most nutrient-dense organ meat on the planet, had so many benefits, and then juicing vegetables. And that's really what made up the Gershon diet, is beef liver along with lots of veggie juice. And so veggie juice, or following Gershon therapy, that's something my mom did, is doing a little bit, now she would do a little bit of chicken liver, getting those high levels of B vitamins. It was always organic. And then she would juice a lot of vegetables. She did a lot of carrot and beet juice, a lot of celery and cucumber juice. She also juiced a lot of herbs such as ginger and turmeric root, and also a lot of green leafy vegetables such as spinach. And then lemons as well, lemons and limes. And so she would do a vegetable juice every single day. But vegetable juices are really taking care of people that are nutritionally bankrupt. If somebody's very low in antioxidants and phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals, veggie juices give your body a high dose of these incredible healing vegetables and herbs and spices on a regular basis. So again, incorporating vegetable juicing, a powerful way to potentially fight breast cancer. Now, another thing my mom incorporated was the Budwig protocol, and this is a really probiotic and lipid-rich meal. And one of the things, this was founded by Joanna Budwig. She was a German scientist who was nominated for the Nobel Prize. And she found that a lot of us, our cells, it was like our spark plugs in our body were not firing properly. We had so many bad fats in our diets during the time that we needed to get more healthy fats and more probiotics. So the Budwig protocol is a sulfur-rich meal that is also high in omega-3s and very high in probiotics. And so she would take a blend of flax oil and something during the time called cork, something like a goat's milk kefir, and mixing those two together, or a cottage cheese. Think about it as a cottage cheese as well, but it was called cork. And so what you could do for this meal, what my mom did is we went out to the country, we bought raw, organic goat's milk kefir. She would add in a bunch of flax meal to that and eat that daily. That actually had, one of her issues was she wasn't having healthy bowel movements every day, and it really helped transform the health of her digestive tract. Another big thing my mom did for her gut is she started consuming bone broth every single day as well. But doing that bone broth, all the flax with bone broth, as well as doing some of the probiotic-rich foods, another beneficial thing as well. So again, doing a goat's milk kefir is great, or a sauerkraut is fantastic as well, or any of those types of fermented foods that don't have any sugar can be beneficial as well. Another thing that a lot of people don't know about, but this is one of the most cutting-edge treatments when it comes to fighting breast cancer nutritionally, is doing something called proteolytic enzyme therapy. Now, proteolytic enzymes are found in certain foods, especially fruit and herbs. We know that bromelain is found in the core of the pineapple. That is a proteolytic enzyme. Papain found in papaya. Actinidin found in kiwis. Phycine found in figs. And zinger bean, which is found in ginger root. And so my mom did loads and loads of ginger and did proteolytic enzymes between meals. She would take these proteolytic enzymes. On turmeric is over 1,000 on fighting breast cancer. It's really significant as well. And so I would recommend 1,000 milligrams 3 times a day of turmeric and curcumin. You can take that. Adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha could be potentially powerful as well. Holy basil is a great herb. Ginger, another great herb there as well with anti-cancer properties. Vitamin D, there are studies showing that getting more vitamin D or having low vitamin D levels makes someone susceptible to breast cancer. And by boosting those levels could help you fight breast cancer. I'd recommend 10,000 IUs of vitamin D every single day, or the best yet, take some time, even if you have to travel, extra vacation time, get more direct sunlight. Getting direct sunlight is a great anti-cancer remedy. And last but not least, using medicinal mushrooms such as cordyceps, reishi mushroom, shiitake, maitake, turkey tail. Those are some of the most powerful forms of medicinal mushrooms. Chaga, another great one there as well. These beneficial fungi work to activate and strengthen the immune system, which go and gobble up and actually kill off cancer cells there as well. So I want to encourage you guys, listen, follow these 11 tips. And remember, again, not any one of these single things is a cure. And remember, these can also be used in conjunction with conventional treatment or a natural holistic approach. But I'd encourage you, make sure to share this with other people. There are so many people whose lives could be saved if they learn and follow these medicine here as well. So remember these tips. Avoid added sugars. Use essential oils such as frankincense, myrrh, and turmeric oil. Avoid plastics. Juice vegetables. Do the Budwig protocol. Get lots of probiotics and healthy fats on a daily basis. Take proteolytic enzymes, or eat foods with those such as pineapples, figs, and kiwi. Practice prayer and meditation. Avoid excess alcohol. Use herbs like turmeric and curcumin. Get your vitamin D daily, and use medicinal mushrooms. And here's the best